Greetings and welcome to the energy of Pisces. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Thank you for tuning in to the channel. We shall begin with an astrological primer for the month of August. Particularly, this is a reading for August 1st, 2022 at 21:50 Greenwich Mean Time, Greenwich, and that is in the UK. So, let's begin now with essentially Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, in retrograde in Pisces, in a slight conjunction with the ascendant, okay? It really depends on which degree, but usually this type of conjunction, it elicits a very spiritual response in which the physical body, or the body that is the exquisite, okay, in terms of the etheric plane and its manifestations on a gross and a spiritual level, the emotional body as well, is very much being supported by the goals and ambitions and also communities around you. Communities of change, especially when it comes to these communities essentially creating a regimen of Saturn, okay? Saturn is currently in retrograde in the 12th house for you, okay? And essentially this promotes primarily some interesting aspects, one being the opposition, the other being a square accordingly to the 6th and 2nd houses, okay? What does this indicate? For the time being, it indicates a way of, I would say, humanitarianism, okay, and doing things in a place in terms of promoting healing effects for others. Be careful when doing this. There's something about bed pleasures as well as foreign or domestic or international affairs, astral affairs, when it comes to especially bedside etiquette. There's an importance here that has to do with not promoting risky behavior in terms of where you place your bed pleasures. It's important not to place them in the wrong places, otherwise there are inauspicious obstacles that would come through in terms of the mercurial mind, as well as the triplicity here that's going on with Mars, the North Node, and Uranus, okay? This all indicates essentially a block to manifesting resources, especially manifesting abundance of some sort when it comes to your material wealth. Okay, so it's very important to maintain essentially a sense of commitment to something that is informed by the dream world. Okay, if you feel these sort of humanitarian edges or a need to sort of give to others, sacrifice for others, you have to keep that in check, because there are certain limitations that are going to be known in due time, that are unknown for now, that are mysterious in nature, that have to do with the 12th house, okay? So any sort of spiritual progression in terms of the 12th house is highly suspect. You have to really take your time into learning lessons when it comes to the etheric plane. The funny thing is that you are immediately being informed in the first house of all of these things, especially of any sort of spiritual design, and you are being gifted by friends, okay? So it's important to honor friendships over any other form of connections, especially when it comes to the dissipation or the sort of dissertation of your energies, where you place them and how they become resonant in some way, shape, or form with others. The thing is with all this retrograde energy, including Jupiter, so it's Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn retrograde in the 12th and 1st houses for you, essentially there are great lessons that are being programmed on a genetic level, okay, that will require a bit of time. I would say at least 6 months to a year to sort of embody these in some sort of way. And that's the great irony when it comes to Piscean capacity. A lot of the embodiment occurs in the level of the ground you're walking on, and that sort of immediate gravitas, because it's at the ground where the feet make contact with the earth, and Pisces is ruled. Feet rules Pisces, or Pisces rules the feet, which is the primary body part, which has to do with the mystery of the path. Okay, the path of the hermit, and the path that the hermit is seeking. Also, paths of the high priestess. Okay, and the high priestess usually observes the path without having to walk the path. That's the difference between the hermit and the high priestess, rather. Now, furthermore, there is a triplicity once again in Taurian Earth, Mars, the North Node, and Uranus in conjunction. Okay, you can watch a lot of different astrologers speak about this particular conjunction. On a collective level, generally, it speaks about the transmutation of wealth, the alchemical transmutation of wealth into new value systems. Okay. That is primarily what I'm seeing. There's something about the ability for Pisces in particular to gain quite a bit in terms of creative outlook, okay? Especially when it comes to the impetus of Cancer, Venus in Cancer here, as well as Lilith in Cancer. There's a strong Venusian and feminine energy here that has to do with the acquisition of wealth through the left side, okay, the left path, which is something that is hidden, it is invisible, and it's subtle in nature. Meaning that if you were to approach the raging bull that is occurring in the second house, Mars, and the dragon's head, the bull charging forward in a Uranian way, there's an ability for you to naturally acclimate what you want by not riding the bull. Or if you were to ride it, you would ride it in supreme grace in some way, shape, or form. Usually it's through the nurturing aspect. If the bull is raging, there may be a way to assuage it or to dissipate its energies by embodying something of more of a water element. Okay, and it has to do with subtlety and grace in the left path, the left side path. Let's see here. On a solar level, we are in a system of Leo energy in the 6th house. Okay, this means that there is a way to confront obstacles on a collective level that has to do with especially the situation of self, at least for Pisces. There's a purifying energy here that through the trine of Aries, Jupiter retrograde in Aries, combined with Sun and Leo, a lot can be had on a collective level, but also on a personal level, in terms of bringing forward wisdom or truth that has to do with devotional aspects, okay? Ways to devote yourself to work, or to your daily routine, and ritualize these, okay? And through the passion and the fervor and the wisdom and the knowledge of fire, essentially create purified the purified body, okay? Whatever way, shape, or form that manifests for you, it would definitely sort of tailor according to your chart, your particular chart. There also is here an interesting square dynamic, square opposition in the 12th house, meaning that primarily the realities of work and the realities of the immediate world, okay, especially with primal instincts of survivability. With the raging bull, is not happy in terms of, it hasn't been for a while, of Taurian capacities. Okay, what is Taurus? Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is currently in the 5th house. Okay, so essentially the way to alleviate this, okay, would be to look to the South Node in particular. South Node is currently in the 8th house in Scorpio. Okay, so it's a very intense South Node in which, on a collective level, there needs to be some sort of karmic clearing, or at least some sort of realization of the nature of the occult, the secrets of the universe. Okay, no harsh aspects or positive aspects on the 8th house currently. But what I do see is a strong inclination that has to do with, once again, the raging bull and being able to meet the challenges, okay, not through ego, but through primarily an emotional understanding here, okay. There's a great tendency, at least for the month of August, particularly the beginning of August, for you to bring in forward the idea of the Vestal Virgin, okay, through other people. Watch the rituals of the everyday of other people, okay, if you can, either through their YouTube channel or through, especially workers. You might encounter a great deal of self mastery or some sort of behavioral patterns that come through methodologies or ways of practice, ritual practice, even their everyday work. There's something about that might have some sort of therapeutic effect when it comes to you essentially giving them the bounty of companionship in some way, shape, or form. But humanitarian design is very much on the cards here. There's a way for you to also gain wealth through these connections. The other is very much placed within their element, and there is a strong devotional aspect about them that can actually be quite of service to not only them but to you as well, in terms of emotional stratification, the importation of healing methods between different people according to their ritualistic practice. It would be an auspicious time to go visit a doctor for very practical health related matters, especially when it comes to natural vitamins or Ayurvedic medicines, Chinese medicines, holistic medicines that would be good to cure, especially, and curate the physical body. Okay, which may be under duress. The thing is that there is a fog that is hard to penetrate. Okay, June gloom is very much bleeding into August for the time being, and I'm gonna have to wish you well for that. I do appreciate your time and your likes. Thank you very much.